Una yeah yeah, una yeah, una yeah yeah, una yeah yeah, una yeah, una yeah yeah, una.
Originally, the term cry referred to the first clash between the Katipuneros and civil guards or Guardia Civil. The cry could also refer to the tearing up of community tax certificates or cedulas personals. In defiance of the allegiance of Spain, this was literally accompanied by patriotic shouts. In the 19th century, journalists used the phrase El Grito de Rebelión or the cry of rebellion. The cry, however, must be defined as that turning point when the Filipinos finally rejected the Spanish colonial dominion over the Philippine Islands by formally constituting their own national government and by investing a set of leaders with authority to initiate and guide the revolution towards the establishment of sovereign nation. Guillermo Masangkay, a friend and advisor of Andres Bonifacio, was born on June 25, 1867 in Tondo, Manila. Masangkay, one of the first members of the Katipunan, played a key role in the Filipino-American War as a revolutionary general. He died on May 30, 1963. He claimed that the meeting was held in Balintawak on August 26, 1896. Historian Gregorio Saide stated in his books in 1954 that the cry happened in Balintawak on August 26, 1896. Chudoro Calao, a Filipino historian, marks the place to be in Kangkong, Balintawak on the last week of August 1896. His book, The Philippine Revolution, was published in year 1925.
Lieutenant Olegario Diaz, a Guardia Civil, stated that the cry took place in Balintawak on August 25, 1896. Gregoria de Jesus, wife of Andres Bonifacio and known as the Lakambini of the Katipunan. She was the mother of Philippine Revolution. According to her, the first cry of revolution transpired near Caloocan on August 25, 1896. She was also stated that Bonifacio and his men gathered in the hills of Balintawak for the War of Liberation. Cry of Balintawak, study of history in Spanish colonies. Cry of Balintawak. There were many different accounts as to when the exact date of the first cry of Balintawak happened. The following are the testimonies. On her book, Mga Tala ng Aking Buhay, the Lakambini of Katipunan, Gregoria de Jesus asserted that the activities of the Katipunan had reached nearly all corners of the Philippine archipelago, so that when its existence was discovered and some of the members arrested, she and her group immediately returned to Caloocan. However, as they were closely monitored by the Spanish authorities, Andres Bonifacio and other Katipuneros left the town after some days. It was then that the uprising began, with the first cry for freedom on August 25, 1896. The aforementioned account was identical to the report of Captain Olegario Diaz, a Spanish commander of the Guardia Civil Veterana Manila, wherein he also said that the first cry occurred at Balintawak on August 25, 1896. He was even awed of how Bonifacio wielded a strong influence, and his proposal, according to Diaz, was approved by an overwhelming majority. This decision being approved was the order being sent out to Manila, Cavite, Nueva Ecija, and other provinces for the Katipuneros to strike at dawn on Sunday, August 30, against the Spaniards.
Accounts of the cry Guillermo Musangkay. On August 26, a big meeting was held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson, then cabeza of that barrio of Caloocan. Among these who attended, I remember, were Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, Aguedo del Rosario, Tomas Remigio, Bishop Pantas, Teodoro Plata, Pio Valenzuela, Enrique Pacheco, and Francisco Carrion. They were all leaders of the Katipunan and composed the board of directors of the organization. Delegates from Bulacan, Cabanatuan, Cavite, and Morong were also present. About 9 o'clock in the morning of August 26, the meeting was opened with Andres Bonifacio presiding and Emilio Jacinto acting as secretary. The purpose was to discuss when the uprising was to take place. Teodoro Plata, Bishop Pantas, and Pio Valenzuela were all opposed to starting the revolution too early. Andres Bonifacio, sensing that he would lose the discussion, then left the session hall and talked to the people who were waiting outside for the result of the meeting of the leaders.
Bonifacio then asked the people to give a pledge that they were to revolt. He told them that the sign of slavery of the Filipinos were the cedula tax charged its citizen. If it is true that you are ready to revolt, I want to see you destroy your cedulas. It will be the sign that all of us have declared our severance from the Spaniards. The cry of Balintawak occurred in August 26, 1896. With tears in their eyes, the people as one man pulled out their cedulas and torn them into pieces. It was the beginning of the formal declaration of the separation from the Spanish government. Long live the Philippine Republic! It was the cry of the people.
In August 1896, after the Katipunan was discovered, Musangkay joined Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, and others in a clandestine meeting held on the 26th of that month at Apolonio Samson's house in Caloocan. Initially, the leaders of the movement quarreled over the strategy and tactics, and many of its members questioned the wisdom of an open rebellion due to the lack of arms and logistical support. However, after Bonifacio's intense and convincing speech, everyone destroyed their cedulas to symbolize their defiance towards Spain. First, that Pugadlawin was never officially recognized as a place named on any Philippine map before Second World War. Second, Pugadlawin appeared in historiography only from 1928 or some 32 years after the event took place. And third, the revolution was always traditionally held to have occurred in the area of Balintawak, which was distinctive from Caloocan and Diliman.